My job on the committee is to sort of like, say, check in that good reference there.
David is in his second year at Cardiff University reading computer science. He's expedition assistant in the university's Duke of Edinburgh Society, working towards his Gold Award.
Having done my Gold expedition, I'm now on the committee for organising and running the expeditions. It's really sort of a way to put something back into it, pass on my skills. Teamworking is definitely a transferable skill, and to get it from D of E is a really good way to get it. It's actually an example that you can use in interviews. You can talk about how you worked in a team, how you delegated tasks, how you communicate with other team members.
David managed to get work experience through Go Wales, creating a database at an enterprise centre in Cardiff.
I totally enjoyed it because it was the first time I've been given responsibility like that, to understand what people do and design a solution based on that was invaluable, really. To undertake a work placement that will let you apply skills in a working environment is definitely advantageous. You have to put in the effort. They don't just sort of come by. You have to do a bit of work yourself, background research into what you want to do, finding the relevant placements, and of course filling out the application forms.
Has David got any tips for getting the most out of a placement?
Get involved as much as you can. Just as long as you put in the enthusiasm and the efforts, then you will get something out of it. Because it's all well and good saying, I can work in a team, or I'm a good contributor. But to actually be able to say, I can build confidence within the team, and I did it on this placement, here's an example of what I did, this is what worked well. To be able to have an example of that is invaluable.
It's important to talk to people who do the sort of job you're interested in. We introduced David to Mike Foley, who runs a business consultancy.
In terms of extracurricular activities, how much do you value Duke of Edinburgh's awards? Is it something that stands out for you?
When you recruit graduates.
What's more important to you? Is it the academic side or actually having relevant experience?
In our world, we need technical exercise. When students come across and show that they actually have done some legwork on finding out about the employer, that's very useful. It looks good to the employers from the employer's point of view, because the student looks as if he's motivated to come to work for you. It also gives you something to talk about as well. It's a very strong CV that he's managed to put together. And he's got all the right things on there in order to get himself to an interview. If you think about the nature of the job, the technical roles, you tend to have very highly qualified, intelligent people working in these roles. But certainly in our world, they have to deal with end users. We're always looking for people who are able to operate in that space. So yeah, they've got great technical ideas, but they're also able to explain them to other people, and also they can listen to people.
When we met David next, he was on a year out from his course, working as a software developer with TNT.
From the start, I was given a task. I show my desk, given a task, and a deadline. Okay, do it. And so I've been given smaller tasks to start off with now that will introduce me into what they actually do in this department. We're introducing a new software system, making it more widespread within this department. It's content management of websites. Within about a month or so, I should be producing code, or should be contributing to the actual website of TNT.com.
Earlier in the year, Mike Foley had recommended skills which David could improve, which he did during a placement as a research intern in Germany over the summer.
He said that communication, attention to detail, etc., they are essential. When I went to Germany for my summer placements, whenever I could present to other staff, I would. So I think I worked on those key skills there as much as I could throughout this placement. So I felt that I had necessary skills to succeed in professional environments. I would say that I'm a lot more independent now. I'm able to travel in a foreign country, to organise meetings, to negotiate, because obviously different cultures, people have different ways of doing things. So yeah, I'm a lot more open-minded, independent, able to sort those sort of things out.
Did that prepare him for working at TNT?
When I was in Germany, it was academia. Everything's a lot more relaxed there. However, you still have deadlines to meet, you still have to provide updates, you still have to communicate with staff. So almost an introduction to the working life for me, because I've only ever done part-time work before. For the first day, it did seem a bit full on in terms of moving up here from Cardiff the night before. However, I've adapted to that rather than seeing it as something that's difficult. Just try to embrace it, try to do everything in the most professional way that I can. When I was talking to Mike Foley in the spring, he gave me advice on postgraduate courses. If I had a master's, would it put me that much higher than a graduate with a year in industry or without a year in industry. I wanted to know his opinion, really. And what he said was, if you do a master's, then do it for the right reasons. So if you're really, really interested in a particular area of computing or whatever degree you're doing, then yeah, pursue a master's. And especially if you want to go down the academia route, then a master's, well, that's sort of your way in, really.
How important does David feel it is to have this one-year placement before his final year at university?
I would say that the placement year puts you that much ahead of any other graduates because you're tried and tested. You're proven for 1 year and you've shown that you can fit into a workplace straight from university. So you're adaptable, professional, obviously attention to detail. Because when you're working in a company, you can't say, okay, that's good enough, I'll just leave it at that. You have to do everything right every time. So I would say that it's definitely vital. If not a year's placement, then definitely a summer placement. Because rather than doing a part-time job, spending your summer working, it will look a lot better, at the very least, on your CV. It'll prepare you with the skills for interviews to actually get the graduate jobs, prepare you for what you'll be doing in the graduate jobs. So it's an all-round experience that will contribute.
Placement years are really, really effective as long as you figure out what it is that you've gained from that experience. Sometimes people can have the experience and think that's it. What employers are looking for is what have you gained from that experience that makes you employable. What have you gained in terms of skills, knowledge, contacts, experience? What is it that's going to give you an insight into the future job market? So I think the key thing, once you've had that experience, is to stop and reflect. What have I gained from this experience? Or how can I use that knowledge for what comes next?
So, what can we learn from David's story? Find out what skills employers are looking for. Take advantage of the opportunities you get at university to develop these skills. Work experience can give you a strategic advantage. Go out and meet employers and get their advice. Further study isn't always the best route, but being proactive is vital. Your careers service can help.